Sup, I'd figured I'd do a spontaneous vlog, because it's been in forever since I've did one. So, just got really high, and I'm like stuck. I'm in this weird mental zone where I have to get myself back into my website again, because what happened was my girlfriend visited me for 11 days and left like yesterday morning, and so we were doing hiking, and I didn't have any time to work on my website, and so now I'm working on my website, and I was like, where was I? Like, what am I doing? And so, and so, I always forget to put my shirt on when I do videos. So, yeah, so now I'm like, yeah, I'm just doing, I was kind of getting to a cool place on my website before she came, where like I was doing lots of different things, and I was looking at surface level stuff, and that was exciting, and then I was doing even new things too, and anyway, I don't want to talk about it, because it would, I don't know, maybe get me confused, but, oh yeah, there's one thing that I'm going to do though next is, I'm trying to tie things that I'm doing, but there's this other thing I'm doing that I think is really cool, that it's kind of like where you're tracing the walls of all the different buildings, capitals of ancient tribal cities. The citadel, usually at least one wall, but usually the citadel and then the city wall, and then if it's bigger cities, you'd have like multiple walls, because I was kind of getting carried away with it. But I discovered that the cool thing about tracing walls, on the cities, is it gives the city the personality in it, and you actually learn the city. Kind of like how computers can pinpoint each person with the thumbprint, your eye print or whatever, facial recognition. It's kind of like facial recognition. You know how you would recognize somebody's face? It's kind of like that. And you get to kind of immediately, especially with Google Earth in 3D, you get to immediately see which kind of a city it is. Because you have all kinds of cities. You have the ones that are like on top of hills, and then ones on top of ridges, which would look like that, ovals, and then and also with the citadel, and they all have different shapes, so it's kind of like it brings it to life. And that was really exciting for me. I actually didn't finish that though. I was going to do that I was going to replace, because what I had all of my ancient cities before was just the location, the big locator thing. But then I just deleted all that, and I have the actual city. And you can see where they are, because maybe it's too small from far away, with the roads between them. I think I kept the place too, but yeah, because I'm going to create, all the different tribes, I think, of the whole world, from tribal times. And then in Europe, all the kingdoms and Roman states and stuff, but in the world, the tribal places. And so, because they're all kind of the same size, but have the roads between the capital cities. And so you see, because not just like facial, like the signature of the city wall, but also the shape of the country itself and the roads between the major cities. I have so many. It's probably like 4 or 5. I haven't counted, but in each try. So it'll be cool. And then I can create that right here in Colorado. I mean, you don't have walls to trace here in Colorado, but I could make you could trace walls based on where you would put a wall, and so give life to it that way. And then map out city sizes. Yeah, because I also have the city. Because with the wall, I do it, and I can make the wall high too, like 30 meters high. But I think I'll do that. But oh wait, no, I'm not. No, I won't. That's only if it's polygon, and I'm just using line. Maybe I'll use both. But with the line, you measure it, right? So you know the exact size of the citadel on the wall. So you can categorize all the different cities. Like what size it is, and how many people they have. And then in that way, you could kind of, and this is what I want to do, take account for all of the citizens, at least in Italy, ancient Italy. Account for every single citizen in the entire country. Because I want to do that here. Like, account for every single citizen in Fantasylandia. Like the Kingdom of Boulder. For like, I don't know. Well, right now I'm working on Google Earth. I think you could download it even. I don't think my website's up right now because I had to independentize myself from my mom. It was just causing problems. But then somehow I didn't point it to mine yet, so I'm having to do confirmations and stuff, and it takes time, so I don't know if you can get on my website now, but you should pretty soon. Yeah, but you can go on there on the Google Earth and you can download Fantasyland, and so you can see what I'm talking about, because I'm in the process now of accounting for every single person, and I'll call it, I think, Sanctimonium. Or maybe I was thinking maybe I'll call it Boulderian, because the capital's in Boulder. I moved it from Haystack to Boulder, so if you get a radius from the courthouse 10 kilometers out in every direction, you're going to get, like in the south, it goes to El Dorado Canyon, west just past Walker Ranch, north, like almost to the sun, like just past Boulder Reservoir, and so inside there that's about the size of the Kingdom of Rome in the beginning, like in the Romulus, about 20 kilometers in diameter, and so I'm just going to cram a bunch of little 4-kilometer circumference city-states. That's what I consider to be the smallest of your kind of, regular small, city-state, because that's what the only intact city-state wall is, pretty much exactly 3.97 kilometers in Mantinea, Greece. And you can see every single gate and tower and everything, and even the stuff right smack dab in the center, and that's a perfect oval, so it's your perfect example. So, and that was within the country of Lacedaemon, which capital was Sparta, and those guys didn't have a wall. So, but Mantinea did, so. So I'm going to have a bunch of those inside of the 20 diameter kingdom of Boulder, and so I can count for all of the cities. I don't know what the Kingdom of Rome was. I don't know off the top of my head the population of it then. So, but I think it's on my website somewhere on my population page. So, I figured that out, and then I'll just put it all person per person, because I created a 10,000 person city-state with a wall around it behind Green Mountain. 5 people to a roundhouse of 30 feet in diameter, 2 meters in diameter, equals 10,000 people, because there's 2,000 of them, kind of crammed in, but, so that was the density of 77 people, just to give an idea, trying to get an idea, because that's kind of, I think, what they estimated Mantinea to be, around 10,000. But, they never made a distinguishing of this within or without the walls, so. But yeah, it's 2,000 or 10,000 within a 4 kilometer wall. Seems pretty crowded, but you can check it out. Um, and then I made another one in Walker Ranch, which is really pretty. Oh, and I have actual castles, real life castles, duplicated out there in the mountains. Like I have the castles that guard both sides of the straits of whatever that is, Dardanelles, to Black Sea. And then the, the cathedral of like Lincolnshire or whatever that was the first building taller than the Great Pyramid since it was built. I have that there in the Flatirons and the Washington Monument and all kinds of stuff. Just check it out. Jesus, the Rio Jesus, is up there on top of Green Mountain. Well, I also have a Great Pyramid in Boulder, but I have people living on top of all the Flatirons, and so I'll account for those people. Maybe families of 5 or something. I don't know. Maybe those will be the hermit people. So it'll just be one person per house. I don't know. Like the rich, but I also behind them I have the rich people, the big castles. So whatever, we'll see. But anyway, get kind of carried away. So that's kind of my project. Yeah, but I have to I actually have that built already, like the different matched tribe for tribe, paralleled with Rome, but it was based off of Haystack, so I need to move it to Boulder, so I have to adjust it a little bit. Oh yeah, and then I have to finish Google Earth in Boulder. That's something that I totally abandoned. And then Caribou, which I totally abandoned, so I have to finish Google Earthing that. But I'm coming along so fast, and everything's coming to fruition so fast, and I'm working so fast that I'm starting to think that I can actually get this stuff done. But the thing is, I kind of feel like I want to wrap it up on my website. I don't know, I just feel this, I don't know, like if maybe I should wrap it up. Like my mind is getting a little bit too isolated or something like that. So I should try to like become more balanced and exercise and stuff. Do my listening to audiobook and exercising, and then doing the audiobook, YouTubing it, at the end of the day, rather than just developing my website or writing stuff, So I was thinking about starting, trying to wrap it up by the end of December this year, which gives me 5 months. And 5 months is pretty good. I mean, I can get a lot done in 5 months because 5 months is 10 units of 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, I could get a whole lot done in 2 weeks. And I have 10 of those. And so I have a lot I have to finish, but I'm working very quickly. So it's very, I think it's interesting. I think I could do it. And to a point where I can not feel like my website is, in a state of needing 100% attention. I've said this one thing before that when I start new things, I do it because I just it's kind of like a curiosity thing. If I burn out on one thing and then I absolutely have to see something and then I start working on it, I'm like, this is good because I'm working my ass off and I'm making something that I like, that I think is just as interesting. So what's the new thing that I was working on? Oh yeah, just all that. So that's what I've been doing. Incorporating basically Google Earth. It's kind of hard to describe. marrying Google Earth world with adventuring around. Um, yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and I just finished. That's what I'm gonna start working on again here. I just finished. Yeah, my girlfriend came over and we were doing lots of hiking. We went over to Walden, drove to Walden one day. Walden is a very interesting place that I'd never been to in Colorado. It's right on the other side of the mountains from Fort Collins. It's this little town that's like, your typical town. I don't know how far around, but, maybe like 4 kilometers. And it's right in the middle of this valley, perfectly flat valley. It's completely surrounded by mountains. And the ones on the east and the south are really big. Actually, the ones in the west, too. But it's totally flat as you go in. It's like Australia and perfectly straight. And all the roads lead right to it. And the size of it is about the size of your typical tribal areas. So I'm going to call it Waldinia in Google Earth. And on the northeastern side of it, it has 2 big sand dunes. We tried to drive there, but my roommate's car couldn't get over the thing. My car was in the shop because when we first got here, I was, I wanted to sell my van. I was going to sell my van a couple weeks ago. I wanted to sell it. And I actually put it on the Samba to sell, but right after I put it on the Samba to sell, the light started turning itself on, the camper light, the main big old camper light, and the button. So I called around. I was a little bit lazy about that for a little bit. And then I called around. I saw if anybody could fix it, and I found these people who did fix it. And they put a new switch in. So instead of having the button switch, it just has a switch like this, so it doesn't kill the battery. And then I was going to try to paint it. I wanted to make it look really pretty to sell, because it looks really good when it's pretty. I mean, I can make it look really good from a distance. And like today when I came up to look at it, to pick it up at the shop, I was like, whoa, look, it looks clean. And I was like, oh, it's because I painted it. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, but all these problems happened because, and then, so I was going to paint it, and then I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find any of the bits that hold the rocket box on, so I had to go to McGuckin's and buy new ones. And I was gonna fix it on the next day, but I had to go to work the next day, and for some weird reason, my alarm clock didn't go on. Like the second time that this ever happened, first time this year. My alarm clock just turned on. So I look at my watch in the morning. I get up and it's like 3 minutes before I have to get there in Longmont. So I was like, fuck. So I jumped in my car and I drove out without thinking. And this one little thing was holding on. So it flew off when I was going down the highway. The car behind me had a Dodge. So I had to back up and put it back in the car. And luckily, magically that day, I got the time wrong. And so I showed up. I thought it was a half hour later, so yeah, I showed up on time. It's so weird. Yeah, and I've never been late, by the way. So anyway, yeah, that was weird. And then what happened? And then something. Oh yeah, and then my girlfriend wanted to go camping up in Caribou. Or actually, we decided we were going to go camping. So we go up to camping in the Caribou in the van, and I hadn't gotten around to, I guess, thinking about the belts and switching out the belts, because I never drive my car. And I was going up this really steep section, and I was revving it, in second gear, because it's really steep, and then the little battery light came on, and I was like, what the hell's the battery light coming on? The battery's fine. And I was going to, for a couple of seconds, and then it started to overheat, and I was like, fuck, so I had to pull over, right on the steep part. But, and it made the coolant leak out of it a little bit. So I had to get my mom to buy a AAA. And so then I got it towed back, and I had to get that fixed, those belts fixed, and I guess the heat coolant thing plugged up again. Um, um, Oil change, yeah. And the battery's dying again, and I think that's because my 12 CD disc changer, if you have it connected, it just spins around forever. So I'm going to remove that. I think those things are obsolete anyway. I didn't even use it that much. But yeah, and I have the MP3 thing. Maybe I'll buy an MP3 for it. Have it come with the car, just to make sure it works. But you have to get an iPad. I wonder how much those are. Yeah, so anyway, so I got my car back today. But I find out, see, here's a new development. I find out on Monday, when the guy that worked for washing the windows, he's thinking about getting a full-time job, doing something else, growing to learn how to do that. Sounds kind of fun. So he's thinking about letting me, or having me manage the window washing thing by myself. Or managing it, do, I guess, a lot of places by myself. And then, yeah, so, which means that I need to have the ladders and have my car. So he's going to let me know on Monday. But if I do that, then I'll make enough money to be able to pay off my debts and keep my car, So, but if not, sell the car. And, yeah, so I guess I find out on Monday. But yeah. So, lots of changes. So, what else? Oh yeah, so I'm thinking that I can, you know what? I think that I will actually on January 1st. I'm going to abandon my website, and I'm going to go full bore on just exercising and listening to audiobooks, and then doing the videos about the audiobooks, and doing YouTube videos and talking and stuff, and not just working on my website all the time, because, well, that's what my mom wants me to do. I know that'd make my mom happy. But because, well, I mean, like, that's 4 years that I will have been in Boulder, moved back to Boulder. And so I think that's probably enough years where you're just sitting on your ass, working on the website. I don't know. I think it's good to change out your life every once in a while, and not to feel stuck, not to feel like you're stuck. Thing just stopped on me. I think I must have been talking for a long time, and it just burned out the memory. So it's cool. Yeah. So I think on like January 1st, I'm gonna start just exercising all the time and do videos and stuff, listening to audiobooks while I'm exercising, and then do the videos talking about the audiobooks and other stuff, request videos, and just talking on YouTube, because I think it's time. I think I can kind of feel my mind kind of unraveling a little bit, like falling away from people, like consensual reality, like, to the point where I don't even care anymore, and like I can feel it kind of falling. It's like, you know what I mean? So like if I go one more year, I'll be even farther. So it's probably better to kind of stay a little bit balanced and just kind of only go this far and then come back to the world. And like if I yeah, and I think it's strong to just be able to cut something off and just abandon it. So I'm just gonna, and so 5 months I think is enough, and I'll have enough, and also I'll have enough time to spare time to just fix it up. The reason that I get so hooked on my website is, I think it's my ego. Just wanting to have it now, all of it. And so, yeah, I think it'd be more fun to. But one cool thing is physically, I'm doing pretty good. Like, you get fat and stuff in the wintertime, but then you start working in the summer, riding your bike to work and stuff, and you're okay. Especially now, I'm pretty okay now because of all the activities we did. Like she came and then we climbed, we hiked up. We tried to hike up to top of it to like adventure all the different houses that I have on my fantasy world. You know, because I have not just the house. You can just check it out, download it off my website. Not just the house, but I have their fences too, and the fences are 380 feet around, just like the lots here in Boulder. So to kind of bring it to life, and so we're going to adventure up there, go up the hill to the Batcave, and then beyond. But it's illegal to the Batcave, or illegal to what's it called? Some kind of cave. The cave up on the Flatiron and up above NCAR in Boulder. Now it's the Bat Cave, Bat Habitat Cave. And so pretty much all of the Flatirons are off limits to people. It's like a nature preserve. It's all off limits. I have to map. I'll map it on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube. I'll map it on Google Earth for downloads to know exactly the sections. But I'll also map out exactly where all of the mountain lions and bears live. There's about 70 mountain lions that live in Boulder County, and and I think 40 of them have names, are named by the Forest Service. So I won't call those motherfuckers. I'll email those motherfuckers, and I'll ask them to give me the names of the lions, and of course they will not answer me, and they will not give me the names. So what's going to happen is I'm going to name all 70 of them, and I'm going to tell everybody exactly where they live, because I'm going to figure out where all of the different elk and moose and deer herds are, and I'm going to place all of the mountain lions, mountain lion for mountain lion, name by name, as well as bears. I think there's more bears. And then all the names that the Forest Service people gave to them are going to become obsolete, because it's going to be a secret. And so everybody's going to have to follow my name. And I'm acting kind of paranoid now. But hey, I smoke weed all day, every day. I get to be a little bit paranoid. Because we are the persecuted ones. Anyway. Yeah. And probably a few things that I haven't even thought of yet. So, whatever. I totally got sidetracked. That was one thing. But you know what? I think I can finish it. I mean, I'm at the point where in one day I can do so much. Because my computer's faster, but also because I just hold focus and I'm like a machine, man. It's awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing like how my neurosis will work when I'm out there exercising all the day. I think it'll just plug right in. And I feel fine physically. I don't know. I kind of have a theory. I have a theory. Let me tell you my theory. I have a theory that, like as long as your diet is good enough and you're stress-free enough and you don't take too many, pills, you keep your body clean, you can stay just as healthy as anybody, and physically strong and vigorous as anybody without exercising. You don't have to exercise. You just sit around on your ass for your whole life. And then whenever you want, I'll be 43 on January 1st. I'll basically be on the same level as, Lance Armstrong. I mean, of course, I'll need, a year to catch up, or maybe 2 years, but after 2 years, he won't have any advantage on me because you don't, lose anything permanently, The human body is built to grow and stay healthy, Yeah. That's not really that's not a scientific theory I have. It's just a feeling that I have when I smoke weed. Weed makes you really optimistic and strong. So, well, actually, you know what? I think I'll probably be better than Lance Armstrong. Because if you look at him, he's got, gray hair now, If you give people, stress and then you take in, maybe the drugs that they took. I don't know. Anyway, now I'm just talking shit. What else was I going to talk about? Yeah, so right now I'm mapping. all kinds of like Google Earth. Um, I'm doing the triathlon. Like before I did the person, and I'm actually just fixing everything. All the Google Earth stuff that I've all done, I'm like taking a run through and I'm just fixing it, and I'm creating triathlon stuff in Google Earth because I wanted to do that to take advantage of like all of Boulder. Oh, this other thing that we did a couple days ago, like I think the last day she was here, we hiked around El Dorado. Walker Ranch. We drove up El Dorado Canyon, and we hiked up Walker Ranch, and like I was really stoned. And for some reason, I got it in my head that there was some kind of loop that went back on the other side, on the south side of the river to El Dorado. And yeah, I think it went down the river, but it was closed, and so we kind of accidentally did the entire Walker Ranch loop, and it was 15 miles of hiking that day. And but it's so pretty because you're like you're separated from the wilderness. I mean, from the society. Boulder's really cool for running. Boulder's great for running. So yeah, I made the bike racer level thing, so I think I have to do a swimming and a running thing too, but just smaller. But Boulder's amazing for running because like you can go from Sanitas down to El Dorado Springs and feel like you're in the middle of nature because you're separated by these ridges that kind of separate you from the plains where all the people are the entire way. And then you can turn up and go into El Dorado Canyon and do this big loop. This thing is wanting to record less and less as I talk, so there's something going on with the memory. I'll have to go check, so I guess I'll try to wrap this up. But yeah, you can run around all through there, that whole loop, and that's for mountain bikers, but there weren't that many mountain bikers. And then come back on the Mesa Trail. I want to make that a run. See, that's another Google Earth thing that I want to do, is make lots of cool runs that take advantage of the landscape, like routes that'll keep you away from society, but also maybe, where you could get water, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I was starting to get ambitious, like all of the little smoke places and the Flatirons and stuff, but yeah. But anyway, no matter where I am, I think I'm probably going to just abandon whatever I'm doing on January 1st and just start exercising, and do a bunch of videos. I'll probably, my website will be developed enough at that point that I'll probably make money. I'll probably start making money with it and be glad that that's what I did, as opposed to just going another year or sitting around and trying to develop my website even more. You know what I mean? So that's what I think I'm going to do. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then, anyway, yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to get back to work now, I guess. And peace out. I'm not going to comment or read any comments. I'm not even going to read the comments on this. I'm just going to put it because I'm too much in my little world. I'm too much working all the time. And I'm making huge, huge progress. Check out my website. When it gets back online, check out my website, dude. It's better. It's better now. You'll probably be like, especially when you look at the Google Earth download stuff, and you just download it. Download all my Google Earth stuff and check it out. Smoke a lot of reefer. You'll be like, whoa, dude. Yeah, man. So